So, uh, what I'm saying is the context of leadership, political leadership, uh, even business leadership, even leadership which will deliver the best outcomes for the welfare of the nation state or public. I mean, nation state is a contemporary concept that you need to understand. National sovereignty and nation state is a modern concept of governance. But it really, all the knowledge really refers back to prophethood and religion. And with the one thing is for sure, as in Islam it is propagated so wisely, it is well researched, well understood. I mean, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is not only the last and final prophet of Allah. He completed religion, he completed religious thought, and while as well, he's Rahmatul Alameen. He's blessing for the whole universe and definitely for the world. Only if you can have that knowledge, or if you interact with Islamic scholars, you would know the details. So now, these power wars and this and that, and straight away let me come to the contemporary world, the modern world after World War II. And so then you will start understanding one thing, that now leadership is oriented towards national sovereignty. I mean, nation state would have a national leader, and there is hierarchy of leadership. National state will be ruled by political leadership, and then that's the greatest cue for economists, for students of economics or researchers. What I'm saying is that political theory will guide through analysis of democratic values, freedom of the society, citizen rights. I mean, democracy is one of the most ingenious ideas. But then the policy world would expect you to then say something which is not very idealistic. While at the same time, when you have data that China, without being a democracy, would create unparalleled economic prosperity for the Chinese people, for millions of Chinese, while at the same time it would be democratic outcomes would lead to identity crisis both in the United States of America and India. So I mean, this empirical data asks us to then be to understand the contemporary concept of leadership, the political leadership even through governance policies, but as well as through basic economic frameworks. And here what I'm suggesting is, of course, now the first thing is, for example, Middle East, for example, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, they are sovereign nations, states in the Middle East. They are not democracies, and the citizens, they are middle income countries, and the governance structure managed through royal family system would then deliver economic prosperity to every citizen. So that's something which is very important. Pakistan being a democracy, facing political instability and still significant poverty, and same is the case with many Latin American countries and African countries. Whereas China, at the same time, would also redefine leadership, which is less than democratic, which is one-party system, CDC. But then they have delivered economic prosperity to the maximum number of citizens. I mean, Russian case is not that simple, but still, you start. What I'm saying is, with these frameworks, what you say that what really matters, deliverables. I mean, policy frameworks, structures, or what has been achieved, and what data is coming through. And what you will know is then you will have a little bit more flexible opinion to then have a more flexible perspective, not only defined through this one linear argument that democracy is going to deliver economic prosperity, creativity, citizen rights, and every other good thing in a country. That's not happening for most of the countries. Even every country has their own democratic structures, and then leadership theory. The most important fact is that needs to be understood by leaders. It's not really, every leader is unique. So what I'm saying is that, a nation state should then have a larger framework of leadership, political leadership, business leadership, thought leadership, cultural leadership, religious leadership, while at the same time would try to understand the kind of political leadership they have. Pakistan have religious parties. Pakistan have parties like Pakistan Muslim League Noon, Pakistan People's Party, which is a bit liberal, or then have Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. But then there is no story about the leaders. Leaders have made their mark through their own struggle, hard work, and resilience. For example, Bhutto, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Benazir Bhutto, Nawaz Sharif, and there are so many examples of great leaders. But then there needs to be a framework. So how leadership theory can add value in economic literature through certain frameworks, so that a whole debate and research would be available. So the framework, that's my note.